It's Ivory's Jaguar. With that, we'll send you up to Gillette Stadium in Foxborough as we say hello to our commentators, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Larry, we are about an hour's drive southwest of downtown Boston in the area known as Patriot Place, Gillette Stadium here in Foxborough. Tonight on this fine Thursday night, we've got a good one in store between the Jacksonville Jaguars and the New England Patriots. Hi again, everybody. I'm Brandon Gaudin. To my left, as always, he's Charles Davis. And, Charles, we saw in the open, we've got a couple of great running backs in this game tonight, each capable of putting a team on his back.
And I'm excited to talk about the runners, not just the passers, who have a big hand in who's going to win this game. Both of these guys are do-it-all. Can run it, can catch it. I can't wait to get this one started.
Here's Steven Gostkowski now to kick this one off. And we are underway in Foxborough. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And now we get ready for Jacksonville to take the field on offense. Blake Bortles this year accounted for 22 turnovers, 16 interceptions, and 6 fumbles, and just all around for the Jags, not the year that they expected. 3-13.
Yeah, everyone expected the Jags to make a jump and actually contend for a playoff spot, and leading them. And I remember talking with a personnel guy in the league before this season and talking about the season Bortles had in 2015. And he said to me, yeah, take a closer look at it. A lot of the success he had when they were down 14 points or more. I want to see him in some tighter games. It didn't happen this year. He's got a lot of work as a star. The evaluation process in today's NFL does not take into account as much bulk as it does speed, and that's what we're seeing with the linebacker position. Those guys that can run, they can play at any spot because they can make plays on the opposite side of the line of scrimmage.
They'll run the option left. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. So he loses 3 yards there. Now 3rd down. So certainly not the start they were looking for here as they come up on a 3rd and 14. Now a play fake. Bortles. And he is going to be hit and taken down. Bortles sacked. Dante Hightower able to get in there and drop him behind the line.
And while he did a good job of sliding around in the pocket, there was nowhere to go with the football, so he had to take off and try and run. He just got back to the line of scrimmage. No gain.
So on 4th down, the Jags send out Brad Nortman to punt. Back deep, Danny Amendola for New England. Taken in at the 22. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Patriots take over. And Tom Brady brings out the New England Patriots. This is a man, Charles, who's going to turn 40 on August 3rd. We know what just happened. Another Super Bowl ring for him. But up around that age of 40, that's where we think quarterbacks, the tank is empty. What does he have left?
He's actually moved the line even more, hasn't he? Remember we used to think 35? It was that time, and Tom Brady keeps moving it up. I think he's got plenty left because, number one, he absolutely loves the game. He's lost none of that zest. His workout regimen, his diet, all those things put it together. He's flexible. He takes hits, and he keeps moving. It's absolutely unbelievable. I think he can win another Super Bowl or 2 before he retires, and I can't believe I've actually said that. He shouldn't be able to do it. I just remember him telling me in November 2015, I just love the game, and I see no end for him.
On 2nd down, here's Brady. Going underneath to Blunt. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs. Cool under pressure right there, escaping the pocket and finding what I think was not his primary target.
And some of these guys are just so comfortable getting outside of the pocket that they'll do it on purpose. It doesn't even need to be a breakdown. They move, and they know it affects the defense and coverage in the secondary. And I think you're exactly right. Wasn't his primary target. Found a secondary guy who sprang open, probably because of his movement out of the pocket.
A big play. Brady to Gronkowski. 49 yards. Ah, yes, Brady to Gronk. You think these two are in sync?
Without a doubt. And look, they both understand what they can do for each other. Gronk knows if he gets open, the ball's going to be there. And Tom Brady knows what a great security blanket Gronk is with all of it.
And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Malik Jackson. He's the one that got to him. He takes him down for a loss of 9.
Well, that was point counterpoint, wasn't it? They decided to throw for it on 1st and goal. Instead, the defense counters with pressure, and the defense wins, getting a big sack.
Brady to throw on 2nd down. And that one's going to be over everybody in the back of the end zone. It's incomplete. And the starters defensively for Jacksonville. And it's a Jags team that finished 3-13 last year. But on this side of the football, they've got a solid foundation, don't they?
I thought that their defense kept them in a lot of games in 2016. I thought they played really well. And now they've got a young core of guys. Remember Jalen Ramsey drafted last year. He made the all-rookie team. Yannick Ngakoue, a really promising outside linebacker, one of the best speed rushers in the game. He's going to be back with them. They need Miles Jack to make a jump, the youngster out of UCLA.
Looking for Gronkowski, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Prince Amukamara. There he goes left side. The 20, 10, and he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. 3rd down, passing down. They throw the extra defensive back in there for a nickel package, and it worked out.
And it's not anything that you would think is just great strategy. It's just that when you have 5 defensive backs on the field and an obvious passing down, it's a lot tougher to complete a pass. And on that play, they completed it just to the wrong team, and it cost them 6 points.
Jason Myers now for the extra point. And this is up and good. The score now 7-0 Jaguars. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. On the return now, here's Keyshawn Martin. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. Okay, partners, New England comes out here to take the field on offense. This is such an interesting story, how they've been able to do it year after year after year. Guys talk about parity in the NFL. Well, New England has kind of transcended that parity, and they've done it with guys that you don't normally think of as household names.
The parts keep changing for New England. That's the amazing part on offense, all right? Offensive lineman change.
Thrown across his body, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Tashawn Gibson, and the return stops at the 39-yard line. They told us repeatedly earlier in the week in our meetings, we need some plays from our defense here on the road early. They got one.
And don't think they were above all week long pointing out to their defense that the other defense is rated higher than them. You going to let that happen, guys? Is that how we're going to play? And they responded to the challenge.
And let's shift now to talking about the Patriots defense. They have a little something to build off of from last time with a 3-and-out.
And what they have to build off of? Great confidence right now. Being able to stuff someone on a 3-and-out. You feel like you're in control now. You're doing the dictating. They want to see if that can continue as this game progresses.
Will it continue? We'll see. And a great spot to start this drive from here. On first down, this is Ivory. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Credit him with a one starting unit. And here's to you, Mr. Robinson.
Oh, I like that one. Allen Robinson, I love coming out of Penn State. Everyone kept telling me he's not fast enough. And I kept pointing to the film and saying, yes, but he catches everything. He's definitely a threat.
Down, Ivory. And he'll snag about 5 yards down to the 32. Devin McCourty brings him down. Here's New England defensively. Last year, the #1 overall defense as far as points given up goes. And they've got a lot coming back in 2017.
Yeah, they certainly do. And let's go back to the Super Bowl. Trey Flowers, who was their leading sack guy in 2006, he had 7 in the regular season. He was a monster in the Super Bowl against Atlanta. He's back there for them. How about Dante Hightower, linebacker? His first Pro Bowl in 2016. And then just moving on back to the secondary. Devin McCourty, the guy who quarterbacks him back as safety. He's been to the Pro Bowl as a corner and as a free safety.
So on fourth down, on comes the Jaguars' Jason Myers now for the field goal try. It'll be a 49-yard attempt from the left hash. And his kick is absolutely perfect. And the lead moves to 10-zip. So after the pick, they can't capitalize for 6, but they do get 3.
And I know in this situation, most of us wanted to focus on the offense. You know what side of the ball I played on. Let's give that defense a lot of credit. Taking it over in a sudden change situation and shutting them down.
Myers now converted on the field goal try. Now he's on to kick it away. Danny Amendola on the return. Here come the Patriots again on offense, the Super Bowl champions, and boy, they have been able to do it a lot of times, Charles, with unsung heroes, haven't they? Look at the names that led them through the playoffs. Hogan, White, Lewis, guys you just wouldn't think of.
Yeah, Deion Lewis, a 5th-round pick, 3 touchdowns against Houston in the divisional round. Chris Hogan, undrafted. He ends up having 180 yards in receptions, including 5 plays of 20 yards or more against the Pittsburgh Steelers. And how about James White, a 4th-round pick out of Wisconsin? Think about who he played behind while he was at Wisconsin, and he turns out to be the unsung hero of the Super Bowl. Would have been the MVP if it wasn't for Tom Brady.
And you mentioned James White at Wisconsin. He was behind who? Melvin Gordon and Monte Ball, right?
That's correct.
And on 2nd and 10 now. Working from the gun, it's Brady. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. That winds up pushing him back 11 yards on the sack. And that'll bring up 3rd. And the Jags have 5 in the secondary here on 3rd down. And he is going to go down. He will be sacked on the final play of this first quarter. 1 quarter in the books here on a Thursday night. 10-zip our score, and we'll return to Foxborough after this.
This presentation of the NFL on EA Sports is brought to you by Gatorade, the sports fuel company.
Alongside Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin, it's the Patriots in possession to begin quarter number 2. They are, however, facing a 4th down situation. He'll take it a few steps in front of the 50. Out comes the Jacksonville offense as they get set to take over here. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had a field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met. When defenses get to the quarterback that quickly, a lot of times it's called a jailbreak. It wasn't quite that fast, but fast enough that he had no time to look downfield and set himself to throw the ball, and as he tried to do that, he was hit, and it forced an incompletion.
Bortles again here on 2nd and 10. Underneath to Ivory. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. Call it a gain of 3. And that'll lead here to a 3rd down. Well, clearly one of his advantages as a passer is his height. Sit back in the pocket, fired over the middle. That makes things tougher defensively, doesn't it?
It really does, because your goal is to move the quarterback off his initial spot when he gets his drop back completed. But when you have that type of height, he can stay in there if he's willing to take the hits and just fire over the top, which saves him time and actually completes a play a little bit quicker than it normally does for a quarterback who has to slide and find open space to throw.
So they're operating in the red zone. This is Ivory, and nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. Well, a well-executed blitz, no doubt. Great job by the linebacker. Maybe the quarterback, if he could have seen that, could have audibled there.
Yeah, he needed to be in a different play because that one just meshed perfectly for the defense. All the gaps were filled except for the one the offense really wanted to run through, and that was filled by a big man wanting to make a tackle.
And he made a great tackle. On 2nd down, here's Bortles. Over the middle, the connection to Hearns. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
Well, there wasn't much there with that hitch route. They didn't gain what they expected. But sometimes when you call a hitch, you really don't have an alternate to go to. You don't have a second route to throw it to. So sometimes you have to rifle in there and hope for the best.
Throwing his Bortles on 3rd down. And he's wrapped up. Taken down. Back at the 25. Jamie Collins in there to get him for a loss of 9. And that'll lead to 4th down.
Well, the beauty of screen passes is they take a little time to develop, and they can often hit big, but sometimes they take too long to develop, and sometimes you get sacked.
Yeah, what's perfectly called for a defense to attack a screen?
Typically a blitz, and even though people think that the screen operates against the blitz, if you have the blitz called and you still cover the screen, now that allows your blitzers to get there.
And Myers able to knock it through, and that'll push the lead up to 13-0. So it's a 7-play drive, but it stalls out in the end.
Let's credit the defensive front 7. They were a little leaky at the start of the drive, but they stiffened toward the end.
That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. The spotlight now focuses on the quarterback, and that's Tom Brady. And I guess the question, Charles, is what's the formula for keeping him better protected? Because as we see, the protection, it struggled.
And normally what you get is renewed determination. When the big guy gets hit, that usually sparks people. Hey, we can't let this happen anymore. They take it personally. He's not supposed to be on the ground, but that hasn't been the case so far in this game. So maybe they've got to figure out how do they get rid of the ball faster to help out the offensive line so he doesn't get hit as much.
And we'll see if they can keep him off the ground now going forward. They go play action here on 1st down. On the move to his left. And his throw's going to be incomplete. The wideout, Chris Hogan, the intended receiver. Well, you mind if we go off topic for a second?
No, let's go.
I like to do that randomly. AFC playoff contenders for this year that didn't make it last season. Who do you have that might get in?
Well, I think Cincinnati's got to be considered there. Maybe they'd have an offseason that's calm, and they go into this season and try and get back to the playoffs where they've been perennials. How about Denver?
Yeah.
Remember last year they didn't have the quarterback to start. Trevor Siemian played pretty well overall, but maybe they can get solidified there and ride that strong defense right back into the playoffs. I'm going to give you a couple a little bit off the pace. Indianapolis cannot afford to squander Andrew Luck, one of the better young quarterbacks in the game. They've got to get back to the playoffs. And Buffalo, brand new head coach, brand new people running the ball club. Let's see if they can figure it out, because I think defensively they can be awfully strong. I've got to make sure that I don't take Tom Brady's greatness for granted, that we make it routine. How about that throw right there? Yeah. Another great completion.
And you know one area where he honed his throwing, he was a catcher in high school. He was actually drafted by the Expos in 1995 in the 18th round.
Wow, that would have been something to see him behind the dish.
Think he gunned down a few guys?
Gunned down a few guys trying to steal second. That would have been fun to watch.
Now a play fake here on first down. Rolling to his right. Over the middle, that's caught by Hogan. And he gets this one all the way down inside the 20-yard line. 2 minutes to play here in the first half. Back to Foxborough after this. We remind you that coming up in 2 minutes' time, we'll hand you off to Orlando, where Larry Ridley will have highlights and analysis of this first half of action. Brady now on first down. And his throw here's incomplete. Danny Amendola, that was the intended target. That'll bring up second down.
NFL quarterbacks work so hard on their mechanics, and they do so much repetition and practice, off-season, the whole deal. They expect it to be autopilot once the games start. That way it eliminates any type of pressure of the game, pressure of people in your face, all of that. That didn't shine through on that throw, though, did it?
No. A little bit of a dangerous pass and off target, too. Danny Amendola, the man he was trying to get it to. And it's third down.
It's always tough for the guys throwing the football when they think they've got a completion and the ball's almost there, and then someone sneaks a hand or two in and bats it away.
Defense has set themselves up nicely. 3rd and 10 now. Throwing is Brady on third down. And he's in. Touchdown, Patriots. Danny Amendola, a 16-yard touchdown. And the Patriots, as a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
Now Stephen Gostkowski on for the extra point. And that'll make it 13-7. So the drive there took 6 plays. And it's finished off by a Pats touchdown. Gostkowski now, after the touchdown, he'll send this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. Oh, nice spin.
Oh, that brought back bad memories.
And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. Here comes the Jaguars offense as they get set here. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking, because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense.
Yep.
Run what you do best.
Exactly.
Put it all the way down and try to increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it, touchdowns.
Bortles now on first down. Oh, look at Thomas wide open. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. It's a pickup of 19. And it'll give the Jags a first down.
Okay, when the big guy...
Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. And we're back. The offense had a chance to talk things over. We'll see what they come up with here on this next play. They come out 5 wide, 3 of them to the right side. On first and 10, here's Bortles. And he'll toss this one incomplete. Seeing no options, he throws it away. They got pressure there and only rushing 3.
And there's a defensive coordinator right now who is celebrating not just getting home with 3 there, but realizing if that's the type of pressure he can get in the entire game, then his pass defense is going to be excellent. You're dropping 8. Where are you going to go with the football?
Bortles will try again on second down. Over the middle, it's Thomas. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. So the offense takes the timeout, and they are back out and ready to rock. The line to gain is the 33 on third down. Throwing his Bortles on third down. And he finds Julius Thomas. Touchdown, Jaguars. Julius Thomas, 38 yards. And the Jaguars add 6 to their lead. And that'll give them a 2-score lead here, but I'm looking ahead. They just want to hold it for the final moments here in the second quarter. They don't want to give up anything on the other side.
No, not at all, because if they don't, it almost had the feel of an imposing their will score. And right now, they want to make sure they keep that and carry it into the second half.
The drive summary that time, 5 plays. And it culminates in a Jags touchdown. After the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. So the Patriots coming out now. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure, if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk is a big decision here.
They give him 17 yards that time as that'll move the chains. Gronkowski may have had to miss the Super Bowl with the injury, but he was active in that parade, and now he's back on the field. And I'll tell you what, something you mentioned to me is that he was a big cheerleader for his team. And that's caught inside the 30. And all the way down to the 22-yard line. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. And we are back here. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. So the offense takes the timeout, and now we're set to get going.
Hey, we got 4 down.
On first down, Brady. Over the middle, that's taken in by Gronkowski. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. So we're back in the offense getting set following the call of that timeout. In the red zone this time. Again, it's Brady. Incomplete with just 6 seconds left on the clock.
A missed opportunity for an interception would have killed off a drive. They had a chance there to finish things off. Didn't get it done. I guess that's why a lot of those guys do not play offense.
And Gostkowski's kick is good. And that cuts into the deficit. It's now 20-10. So a field goal here. They're still down, but they put a dent into that lead before the break.
And that's got to feel good because now they've seen that they can put some more points on the board, and that gives them a whole second half to get back to where they want to be, and that's in the lead.
Gostkowski now converted for 3. Now he'll kick this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. Spinning past him. Still on his feet. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. So we've reached halftime here with the visiting Jaguars out on top. As we send you now to Orlando to check in with Larry Ridley and our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, LR.
All right, let's roll those moving pictures. Now 1st and 10, we'll get a scramble and completion. And that connection will lead to a gain of 49 yards. Patriots have it later on the drive. The pass ends up being picked off. Jaguars will end up returning it for a TD as they put the first points on the board. Patriots have it at the 17. Amendola found on the quick pass. And this goes 17 yards for the score. The Patriots now trail by 6. Jaguars take over late in the second. Here the pass is completed into coverage, and this long run goes for a touchdown. Lead now goes to 13.
Okay, Larry, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. So both teams have their marching orders, and we'll get going again here in quarter number 3. Martin will return. Go up and over. The Patriots offense now. They work their way back on the drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive, and we often talk about teams scripting plays to start.
And that's caught inside the 30. A big play there for New England. 53 yards.
Let's face it, it's tough to defend guys just in regular time. But when they get extra time, when the guy maneuvers outside of the pocket, that's just almost unfair because now trying to stay with a receiver, very, very difficult to do, and a big play is often the result.
And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. On 1st and 10, here's Brady. Out to his left. Amendola catching it left side. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10.
You don't have to win the 40-yard dash. You still have good mobility. How about him getting outside of the pocket, throwing on the run, and picking up a first down?
And now the offense operates in the red zone.
Hey. 4 down. Wait, 20.
Throwing on first down is Brady. Steps away to his left. And he's got Amendola on the connection. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down.
Everyone has their strengths, able to move to their right or their left, being able to throw the football. So that means you've got to work on both because you never know which way you're going to get flushed by pressure. In this situation, able to escape to his left and makes an accurate throw.
Now Brady again. Being chased out left. This is caught. Gronkowski. That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be 3rd down.
Can you do any more work or make it more dramatic for not much gain than what we just saw there? Did you see how his toes got down? Tip-tap, got him down. But what did he get out of it?
He sold the sizzle. He just had no steak.
I mean, was it 1 yard?
Yeah, plays like that, you at least expect a first down. They're just 1 yard. Defense sinking pass. They've got the nickel set out on 3rd and 6. Brady rolling to his left. Gronkowski the intended target, and it brings up 4th down.
After that throw, and it was definitely one that he would love to have back, I wonder what's going through his head. I wonder what kind of mind game he's playing with himself to get himself back on track. Because a lot of guys, that's what they do. They have little triggers that when the mechanics are off or if they make a bad throw, that they go to that place to get themselves back in sync.
So the drive takes him inside the 10, but it ends with just 3.
And a nice job defensively to rise up and make sure they didn't get in.
Gostkowski now converted for 3. Now he'll kick this one away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no thought to bring this one out. He'll just go down to a knee, and they'll take over at the 25. A look at the offense now here, coming back out on the road for their first possession of the second half. And they'll just simply be looking to build off the confidence of the last time out where they scored a touchdown.
That confidence is powerful, isn't it? When you've scored once, you feel like you can go back out there and get it done again. Doesn't matter what the defense throws at them. They feel like they're in a groove right now, and they want to get out there and show it.
Yeah, hoping to stay in that groove here this go-around. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down. Little lull in the action here to go over an offseason storyline that's kind of interesting. L.A. a couple years ago, they have no teams, and now they're going to have 2 with the move from San Diego to L.A. What does that mean for the league and for the Chargers?
It seems like an easier transition, doesn't it, than St. Louis when they moved back to Los Angeles.
Less culture shock.
Less culture shock, less, obviously geography, the whole deal. But it's a transition still is not going to be easy. Remember, they're going to go play in a soccer stadium essentially for at least the first couple of years before they share a stadium with the Rams. So that changes things. Obviously trying to create an identity in the market they haven't been in a long time. They began as the Los Angeles Chargers, but only played 1 season as such.
And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, it makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
So they run it on 2nd down. Now let's see what 3rd down brings here for the offense. They run with their short yardage man, Ivory. And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. He lost 2, and it brings up 4th.
And, partner, in a lot of short yardage situations, you'll see the linebackers step up into the gaps, what we call mugging the line of scrimmage, to make sure they take away all spaces, all creases. That one worked really well for them.
Now only needed a yard, instead went backwards. Here's Brad Nordman now. On for his 2nd punt. He'd take a repeat of his first. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. This is taken at about the 14. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. And now out come the Patriots. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
Martellus Bennett, the intended receiver. And now it's 2nd down. That incompletion, Charles, gives me a chance to put you on the clock real quick. NFC teams last year that did not make the playoffs that might make a push this coming year.
Well, 3 that come to mind right away that we thought were going to be in 2016. Minnesota, remember the start they got off to before that didn't work out so well for them. Arizona, we thought they were a lock to be in the playoffs. In fact, many of us called them Super Bowl contenders.
He's got a man, complete. So holding by the offense, and maybe now got to shift up what you want to do on the playbook.
Yeah, definitely. Change what you're doing in the playbook, but boy, the advantage shifts to the guys on defense, doesn't it? Longer yardage situations, they often become bolder.
Blunt, the lone running back. Now Brady. Open man left side is Gronkowski. They get 14 back, but it leads now to a 3rd down.
That coach is always harp on the quarterback reading the defense and getting it to the open man. That's good recognition there. And how about what he did after the catch?
Yeah, hit your tight end, let him get some rack.
Yeah, when he gets moving, not many guys want to come over and put a hit on him, do they?
And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
That was a classic example of trying to run with the ball without securing the catch. He was thinking about those rack yards instead of making the catch first and then taking off.
Hey, Alabama. Wait, 20. Hey, check it. No.
They do go for it. It's Brady. And this is incomplete. So certainly an interesting call there to go for it. And the Jags take over in terrific field position. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field.
Blitz coming, and down he goes. Dante Hightower in there to drop it for his 2nd sack now here tonight.
Well, that play was the very definition of fast, quick, and in a hurry. Suddenly, he was there.
In a blink of an eye, that happened fast and a big sack. On 2nd down, here's Bortles. Over the middle, it's Thomas. It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a 3rd down. And that's one of his advantages of a passer, is it not? With his height, setting back there in the pocket, firing it over the middle, he can really see everything clearly.
It is, and I know that other quarterbacks get it done different ways, all right? You don't have to be his height to make a great play. But what he does is he takes away having to make those slides.
And this is intercepted, but they'll say out of bounds. So very close to a turnover there in the end zone. So now the field goal unit trots out there for the 3rd time tonight. This from 44 yards out, left hash. Oh, they get to the football. It's blocked. It's picked up. A live ball here, remember.
Love the effort there. I mean, to get a field goal block in this situation because they knew what was going on. They give up those 3 points there. It's now a 2-possession game.
Yeah, that really changes the complexion here in the 2nd half, doesn't it?
It really does, and now you give your team a more than a fighting chance and a little momentum. Terrific job by them, setting the tone and picking up their defense.
And complete on the right side to Bennett. 15 yards there on the catch and run. One quarter remains here in this Thursday night matchup. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Foxborough. It's Patriot football, but they trail here as we begin the 4th quarter. So the offense has it 1st and 10. Throwing on 1st down is Brady. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
Whenever I see a drop like that, so used to seeing those big guys make big-time spectacular plays that when they drop one, I have to remind myself, we ask a lot out of these guys. Block and catch the football, not easily done in today's NFL.
He's going to look deep for Edelman. And Brady going to be intercepted a third time. Picked off by Tashawn Gibson. And his guys are going to get the football at the 23-yard line. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. And the last time that they were on the field, a little demoralizing. Missed field goal. You know, always feel like you want to get it in the end zone, but then, oh, well, at least we're going to get it. Now he is going to be hit and taken down. Bortles sacked. Jabal Sheard in there to sack him for a loss of 6. Well, they were coming out of the 4-3 defensively. Pressure coming off that right side from the DN.
And that's the blind side of most quarterbacks. If you're right-handed, that's the side you don't see quite as well. And that's why you rely on your left tackle, maybe your highest-paid offensive lineman, to take care of you. In this situation, that didn't happen.
Now Bortles throwing on second down. To the right side here, the tight end Thomas. That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be third down.
I'm wondering if the same thing went through your mind as mine. When I see a big man like that make a catch, all I keep thinking to myself is, big man with football. Look out, everyone. He may not juke you a whole lot, right? He may not run past you because of his size. You're talking about a guy weighing in the 270 range.
Now he's hit, and Bortles fumble. It's loose.
On plays like this, when the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, the teammate is able to come up with the ball.
12 yards on the return that time. And the offense will come back onto the field for the 1st and 10. Out comes the New England offense to see what they can do this time. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. Now he'll let it go deep right side. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
I like the boldness, and I like that they took a shot downfield, but it was well covered, and he was able to get a hand in and knock it away.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. They get 6 here after the incompletion, and it'll leave them with a 3rd and 4.
And once again, leverage wins. The offensive line, lower than the defensive front. They moved them and found some good space for the guy carrying the ball.
An extra defensive back in the game now here for 3rd and 4. To throw, it's Brady. They'll roll him out right. Unable to get it to Gronkowski that time. And that brings up 4th down.
Even in today's NFL, when we think of the tight end position now as really a glorified wide receiver, we're still asking a lot of those guys. They have to block as well, and every now and then, they don't come down with the football.
Now Brady got to have this one. And that is incomplete. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And this defense will take over right near midfield at the 49-yard line. And now out come the Jags. They've got the lead. Last time had to punt it, though. What's the key to this drive?
I think it's leverage. Big guy.
And he's going to be swallowed up. Sacked back at the 45-yard line. Dante Hightower in there to get him again. The 3rd time he sacked him here tonight. And there they bring pressure from the inside, and they get home.
Yeah, hard to block everyone, isn't it? And on this play, someone did not get blocked. He's the one who got home.
He took a hit on that last play. Now let's see how he and the offense respond on second. They'll come out in the pistol. Here's Ivory. And this one's going to go the wrong way. Losing yardage back at the 42. He lost 4 there, and it's 3rd down.
Okay, even just being nice, the last 2 plays were not very good offensively. So if you're the play caller, was it the team's execution or was it strategy? If it was execution, you continue to call the game the way you're calling it. But if it's strategy, change up what you're doing and figure it out.
Time is starting to run out, really becoming a factor. We'll see if the defense can get the stop they need to get the ball back to the offense. On 3rd and long, it's Bortles. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. So it's Jaguar football here as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Here's Brad Nordman now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Fair catch called for and taken just inside the 10-yard line. That'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And the Pats will be backed up deep to get the drive started as they take over 1st and 10. Our eyes shift to the defense of the Jaguars now. They've had a great game, but one final stop, that's what they're thinking about right now, aren't they?
And I think they believe that it's almost in the bag because of how they've played all game long.
And, oh, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off by Jonathan Cyprien. And they'll start out with great field position at the 47-yard line in enemy territory. Agreed, that's twice now in this 4th quarter.
As a quarterback, a lot of times you think it's all on you to make plays when you're losing. And here, the play's not there, but he throws it anyway.
The Jaguars getting set to go. They have the lead, still a one-possession game, but the defense got the stop. They've got the football now, just salted away, right?
Exactly. That's all the defense is counting on from their offense. They did their job in a big way. You know they're over on the sidelines now starting to take their tape off, and, hey, we've done this thing. The offense has to put it away, and that means ball security.
Absolutely. Stranger things have happened. They stay on the ground. Ivory again. And he is going to lose yardage here. It'll be a loss of a yard, and all of a sudden here it's 3rd down.
Brandon, that play ended so fast, it's almost as if the quarterback handed it to the runner, and the tackle was there right away for a loss of yardage.
And the play clock is going to run out here. They're in no hurry to get a play off.
Delay of game, offense.
And following that penalty, the offense really backed up now on 3rd down. They run. Robinson. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th. Now we're going to get a timeout here called by the Patriots. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. The defense, they got a little bit of a breather. Now they're back and set as we resume play. Here's Brad Nordman now. He'll boot it away from about his 35. This is away, and a very good kick angled for the sidelines. And this will be out of bounds. Now it's a question of where they'll mark it. And they'll say it crosses at the 11-yard line. Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. They'll put 2 receivers left, 2 to the right. They'll look to throw. And, oh, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off by Prince Amukamara. And his guys are going to take over at the 31-yard line. The interception woes, they just continue to mount. He's thrown 5 picks. At this point, you got to be thinking, is it something between the ears?
I think a confidence hit does occur once you start getting those numbers up there a little bit. But as you and I both know, it's not always just one guy's fault. Maybe somebody ran a wrong pattern. Maybe some balls were tipped. It could be so many different things. Bottom line, though, it comes back to the guy throwing them.
Down to a knee here. The defense still with a couple of timeouts. We'll see if they want to use them. A road win in the National Football League. Charles, you never take that for granted no matter who you're playing, no matter where you're playing.
You take it and you run with it. And you know you primed the pump all week in your own home facility. No one thinks we can do this. Only people who believe are right here in this room. And then you go on the road, band together, and get it done.
So that'll just about do it for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, log on to easports.com. From Foxborough, good night, everybody.